So I'm at Tiwanaut, about 6:30 a.m. And this is the first peak in a series of peaks called the Cathedral Traverse. Today we'll be going up Tiwanaut from Lupine Meadows, hitting peak 11.8, then East Prong to Owen, through the Notch and up the Grand. Should be a 19-hour day, and we're 3 hours into that 19 hours. A lot of loose rock and potential ice between us and the Grand. You see the Grand right there. You can see Aaron right there taking risks, and Chase right here. The Notch is supposedly the crux of the route finding. And the reason that this takes so long, it isn't huge in terms of miles or vert, but route finding can be difficult and a lot of people get off route. So every peak we stand on, we'll only stand on for a couple moments, then we'll have to move on.
We have been thinking about this route for a long time. About 4 or 5 years ago, we did that ridge line in the back of me. That's the Cloudvale Traverse. And I've been dreaming about doing this part, the Cathedral Traverse, for 4 or 5 years now. So it's surreal to be on the route. I've been excited about this a long time, and conditions are finally lining up. So should be a good day.
It's 5 years since we did the other half of this, the easier half, called the Cloudvale Traverse. That was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done. I loved that day. And looking behind me, I'm so stoked on this.
Yeah, now we have to.
Looks like it's gonna take us too far right, doesn't it?
Now we have to go left over there.
That's what I expected to see.
Yeah. Top of peak 11.830. Sounds like a government designation. And this is where the real route finding begins. Got 3 options here: rappel, a little chute, or a dirt walk. We're looking at the chute right now because the Strava file we're following on top of, that's what he did. Hopefully he's accurate. If so, we owe him a big thanks. But this is where the challenges begin.
Just thought I'd get a check-in of Danny getting a check-in. This is what it looks like when he talks to the camera with amazing views. We're at a peak 11.830, definitely feeling it.
There's good handholds. We decided to take the crack down. You can see it right there. And there were 1 or 2 spicy moves, but overall, I felt like it was pretty fast. I didn't have anyone below me that I had to worry about. Chase and Aaron are still up there. Aaron really wanted to take the dirt route. He wanted it so bad, he tried to force it to materialize with his mind. But the beta we had was for the crack, and so I figured stay with the beta.
How's that down climb, Chase?
Good, man. A little afraid I was gonna kill you with rocks. Other than that.
last steps and last few heavy breaths up to the top of East Prong. Wasn't too hard to find our way up here. And then we go down and up something with a really cool name. I think it's called Corvin. Everything's better than expected. Hope that's the theme for the day.
Hopefully it's got water in it. We brought just enough water to make it to Owen, so.
A lot of intimidating stone left. This sort of overhung little section.
You should kind of just lower yourself. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Whew.
East Prong, check.
Okay, I've only learned after climbing up and around it that it is actually called Coven, not Corvin. We went up the Coven and then out on Looker's Right, and it was again challenging but not overwhelming.
Getting our last dose of water underneath the snowfield on Mount Owen. Last time we'll be able to fill up before we get down from the Grand.
Excellent. All right, well, if you look behind me, that's the summit of Owen, but there's this move here that we don't necessarily want to do, without gear, and even with gear, looks like it might be tricky. Plus, the Strava we follow also appears to end right here. So part of us is like, oh, how convenient. This is where people might be turning around, so let's turn around. That's what we're going to do. So technically not on the summit of Owen. Scratch that. Last check-in. We got off track. Actually, before you wrap around the northern corner, there's a little crack you can go up that leads to the summit. So here we are, summit of Mount Owen. Here's Chase, squeezing through the birth canal.
Woo! Top of Owen. As we were coming back down, we didn't know if we were gonna summit or not. We thought we might just, call it being 20 feet from the top. But we found the right route. You'd chimney up through the kind of a crack between two large boulders and make it up to the top here. You can see the rest of the route behind me. That's where we have to go. Looks a bit daunting from here.
Kind of dragging today, and it's kind of like, I think it's like the elevation and the weight and the lack of sleep, but kind of struggling to keep up today. Luckily I have the least patient person in the world behind me, Danny. Work our way over to the Grand. We'll see how this down climb is. It seems like a lot of people struggle to get off of Owen.
Go for it, Danny.
You go.
Found my first bit of booty.
Lucky you.
Lucky me. It's a good day.
Oh, let me get out of here.
That was awkward. To be.
still working down from Owen. We've actually been able to make pretty good progress and not get lost, which is a miracle. But we had a pretty strong study session yesterday. We all got together. Aaron had his laptop. We read multiple trip reports, and those people who came before us have just laid the groundwork for us to do this with a lot less route finding. But we still haven't gone through the notch, the notorious notch. But we're close. We're about to come into view of its magnificent narrow splendor. On the bottom section.
Watch your backpack hit. Just sit up. They say that's the crux of the route finding, and it wasn't that bad. I tend to find that the stated crux isn't always the real crux, so we'll find out what is on this route. But so far so good. That was pretty smooth, if not a little sketchy going across the ledge and the down climb to get into the notch, but we made it.
Behold the notch.
Only the penitent.
In all its notchy glory. And we actually got here, thanks to everybody's beta, with only a few short missteps. It's been a good day so far, and even the wind, if you can believe it, hasn't been irritating us too much. Now we just have to route find our way up to the grandstand, and then from there up to the second ledge, around to Owen and up. First climbing pitch, and a good reminder that climbing is slow and cold a lot of the time.
We are standing at the top of the grandstand. Chase has led a pitch, I led a pitch, and now Danny on his way up. It's so fun. Look at the setting. Can you ask for a better spot? He's really hoping that his swole muscles make up for any other lacking that he has in the climbing arena.
Danny, rigging up to go on the sharp end.
So sharp.
How you feeling, Danny?
A little nervous.
First lead of the day.
I know, and I'm not very good.
We made it to the Italian cracks. Aaron just went up the first pitch. It is getting cold. We're in the shade, and like a fine molasses, we are moving slowly.
So slow.
But I think we're about 3 pitches out, and we'll make it to the second ledge. Be able to scurry out on that over the Owen Spalding and probably get back into the sun, which
It would be so nice right now.
guessing we're about 3/4 of the way up the Italian cracks, and I'm reaching that point where I just want to lay down and go to sleep. But we got to be close to the second ledge. And from there over to Owen Spalding, and from there it's just a couple miles and thousands of feet back to the car. So basically just right there, right? At the second ledge, you're at the car, basically. Made it to the second ledge, and it couldn't come at a better time. My forearms are 3 to 4 times their normal size, gorged in blood, and absolutely wiped out. Now we go over to the Owen Spalding route, and potentially I go home and sell all my rock climbing equipment. I'm beginning to think maybe I'm not a rock climber. Or maybe I'm not a rock climber in the cold wind.
That was cold in the shade. So much wind. Climbing was so fun. Wow. Nice and juggy, cracky, great placements and gear. Pretty slow. That was the other thing I took away. It took us a long time. Happy to be wrapping this up. Oh, that was a long haul. So damn fun. Oh wow. Check out the shadows of the mountain. Feels good to be done with the climbing. Now we just have to make it down safely.